Do you remember your time as an angel?
Not just any angel. I was the Archangel of Justice. My fall awoke the vengeful dead who were slain unjustly during Diablo's reign of terror. There was nothing I could do. As my power left my body, I had absolutely no control. Caldeum is the greatest city in the world, the seat of the Empire of Kyrgyzstan.
So they say.
Its libraries overflow with undeciphered tomes of arcane knowledge. Its streets cover labyrinthine tunnels. It is a city of wonder and mystery. I do not know how these refugees persevere. Their situation is dire, and it seems there is little hope for them. Where do they find the strength to carry on?
Their hearts possess the will to survive.
The human spirit never ceases to amaze me. I feel Belial in the very air. I see his shadow behind haunted eyes. Hear his voice whispering lies on the wind. He need not bring an army to this city. It is his already.
Oh, the Jewel of the East! Caldeum is really quite amazing. I have never seen anything quite like it. And I have seen so many things in my life.
Certainly you have been here before.
That explains quite a bit, actually.
My people are shunned many places, but we were always welcomed in Caldeum. Something must be very wrong, that they won't even let their own people into the city now.
But what is it? You must tell me everything.
Is that any way to speak to me? And you don't need visions to see that Belial is in control of the city. The question is how?
You and your brother chose different paths.
We're not much alike, really. He was always dependable and practical. A complete bore, I'd say.
And you committed yourself to a life of crime.
Hardly. I was just amusing myself with a thieves' guild. It was nothing serious.
Your brother had no objections?
That may have been serious.
Did the Prophet foresee everything?
Well, I did not expect you to keep company with a seraph.
Tyrael.
I knew what he was the instant I beheld him, but being in his presence makes me quite nervous.
He is our ally.
We do not deserve it. Tyrael sacrificed all he knew to aid us. I hope it is worthwhile.
I have thought of a way to retrieve my lost memories, but it is dangerous. I must ask you to promise me something. Should I lapse into my old sins, whatever they may be, you must kill me, as I killed Jondar.
If you insist.
I found a journal on Jondar's corpse, written in an ancient Templar cipher. I can translate it, but it will take some time. Perhaps studying his treachery will give me a clue into my past.
It's a reasonable plan, but you are still worried.
Jondar was once a man of faith, devoted to the Templar Order. What if he discovered something that made him betray himself? Matters not, for I must do this anyway. I have translated a strange passage from Jondar's journal. Long before he began serving Magda, he found a set of what he called key words hidden in a dusty librum. He writes that when he read these words, memories from his past returned to torment him. It was at that point that he began to mistrust the Order, though he did not say why. I am prepared to look upon these words and risk my soul. But I want you to understand something. I know I may die at any time. When I do, it must be without a single doubt that I am serving the light.
You risk more by delaying.
Thank you, my friend. But please, remember your promise.
How did you meet your wife?
It's actually quite a tale. We met in a town not far from here on the outskirts of Curast. She was... well, you're not going to believe it. She was locked in a cage.
Your wife was a criminal?
No. They were going to burn her as a witch.
That is a crime here, isn't it?
Let's talk about this another time.
There ain't no guards around, are there? Good, because I got some new items.
May the gods who abandoned us come to your aid one last.
You see that armor? No wonder he destroyed those cultists in Alcarnus so easily.
I can't believe anyone could have survived that out there, let alone defeat those monsters.
I know, but he did it.
Amos, is that you? What happened?
Feeding peasants. They came when
I've dug up some new things for you to take a look at.
The Emperor is destroying the city. He must come to his senses soon.
To come so close to this wonder city and not be allowed inside is worse than never seeing it at all.
The Trade Consortium Council has always been the ruling body of Caldeum, but it gained most commoners know Caldeum by reputation, if not direct experience. The Trade City has existed for thousands of years, predating even the Mage Clan Wars. Its neutral stance throughout the following centuries saved it from the destruction that visited the nearby city of Vizjun, and life, along with trade, carried on. The Trade Consortium Council has always been the ruling body of Caldeum, but it gained additional strength after the fall of the Vigerai. The councilmen saw opportunity in the rapidly growing Zakarum faith, and they allowed the fanatics to build their enormous cathedral, Saldenkal, within the center of the city. Not content to reign supreme in commerce and religion, the Trade Consortium Council aspired to make Caldeum a nexus of learning as well. It proposed to unite the mage academies in a massive new structure, the Ashari Sanctum, which has remained a beacon of knowledge and advancement ever since.
Caldeum relies on trade to survive. If they keep the city closed for long, it will die.
The Zakarum are behind everything that's going wrong around here. They raised the Emperor, you know.
I wouldn't go over there if I were you. Some poor fellow fell to his death.
Is there no one to help us?
Tribute to the Emperor for years. He cannot treat us like this.
Captain Ravan, the conditions out here are deplorable. Something must be done to aid these people.
You can't treat me like this. Like some commoner.
Ashira, the Emperor is in danger. I need to speak with him.
I heard what you did at Kasim Outpost in Alcarnus. You have my thanks, and you shall have my help. Captain Ravan, this man has vital information regarding the massacre in the Borderlands. We must see the Emperor at once.
Very well, but I don't think you'll find him receptive. Let them pass!
I am Lady Neferez. Let me back into the city.
Let's go. I'll lead you to the palace.
You are bold to have sought this audience with me. My gods tell me you were responsible for the massacre of innocent villagers in Alcarnus.
Your guards lied.
If you are innocent, then why do you have spies skulking through my sewers? Bring her in!
Let me go!
I detest violence. Gods, I leave this matter in your hands.
Come for me.
You are quite the optimist.
Get out of here. I will cover your escape.
Thank you. Now we need to get to the sewers. I'll explain why when we get there. Our way. We must destroy their summoning construct.
That needs to recharge.
There has to be a way into the sewers from here. To the sewers. I found my mother Adria. She's alive, but the Imperial Guard is holding her somewhere down here.
We must reach her. What happened to your brother?
Nothing.
So Magda was telling the truth. Somehow I knew my mother was alive. I always knew it.
But there is still a reason she never reunited with you. What happened to your brother?
Nothing you'd want to hear.
I have heard a lot. I could probably help.
And then what? I suppose you'll make it all right. You'll fix it up just like another one of your little errands. Some things aren't that easy.
I will respect your privacy.
God, you're so noble about it too. Spare me.
The electric eels are insidious pests that have taken root in the oases surrounding Caldeum. Known for their stinging strikes, these creatures are particularly dangerous when they attack in large numbers. It is said that raw eel has become a delicacy among Caldeum's elite, but I assure you these rumors are baseless. The deserts of Kyrgyzstan are majestic, expansive, and full of stinging swarms of insects. They may seem a minor nuisance, but these vermin carry numerous strains of pestilence. One of them was trapped in my boot once, and my foot swelled up to the size of a melon before the infection cleared. What horrible creatures!
The accursed were created when a necrotic plague spread through Kyrgyzstan centuries ago. The infected watched in terror as their flesh blackened and died. The strongest medicines could not stop the decay. Eventually, they fell into a dormant state, and their bodies were piled up in dark and forgotten places where they could rest undisturbed.
treasure slipped down the drain and into my pockets.
Adria should be up here.
This is the first time a girl's ever asked me to meet me.
I must wait.
My exemplary servants. Keep the witch alive until she talks. Pain will loose her tongue, but only to a point. Remember what happened with the vizier's assistant? It was a pleasurable time, I admit. But the man had only incoherent babble and bloody strands of pus spilling from his lips by the end.
I must wait.
Tell us about the Black Soul Stone! We know of the three that the Horadrim used to trap the primevals. What is the purpose of this one?
Your master Belial has good reason to fear it.
Leave her alone!
Seize them!
Leah, my daughter.
You know who I am?
My darling, I've watched over you all your life, but I never dared get close because of the danger that always shadows me.
Speaking of which, let's get moving. Give it more time.
Mister, I got some new things. You should take a look.
I'm surprised Cain never told you why I left. He knew I was called to fight the Lords of Hell, and I knew he would keep you safe.
He's gone now.
Then it's fate that we have been reunited. Cain's work, your work, is my war.
According to the Horadric texts, only two evils remain. Belial is here in Chaldeum, and Azmodan has yet to reveal himself.
Leah still adores you, even though you left her behind.
What? No, I never saw it that way. She grew up in safety, while I risked my life to find the key to our salvation. It was the sacrifice that I had to make. In any case, Leah will meet her full potential under my guidance. Do you not have things to do?
How well did you know Cain?
For a time, during the darkening of Tristram, we spent many nights in the Tavern of the Rising Sun, discussing his Horadric texts and the varied arcana I'd collected during my travels.
Did you meet again?
Only from afar. From time to time our paths would cross, and I would catch glimpses of Leah as she grew. It broke my heart that I could not reveal myself and raise her as my own.
How did the guards capture you?
I was trying to steal out of the city. I'd returned to gather some things before setting out to recover Zoltankul's head, and the guards found me.
I heard that you were there 20 years ago when Mount Eriad was destroyed.
Baal, the Lord of Destruction, sought to enslave mankind to the power of hell by corrupting the sacred World Stone. Unthinkable though it was, I was forced to destroy it.
But there were consequences.
Understand, friend.
that entire worlds burned as heaven and hell fought over the World Stone. Harriet's destruction was regrettable. And, believe me, I paid a high cost as well.
What happened when you destroyed the World Stone?
The resultant explosion dispersed the light and harmony of my angelic being. Without form or shape, I restored myself within the realm of pandemonium. It took me 20 of your years, but finally, I returned home to the high heavens.
Did your brethren understand?
Hardly. Believing my actions had endangered creation, the Angiras Council put me, the Archangel of Justice, on trial. I knew then that heaven was doomed, unless I could enlist the aid of mankind against the coming onslaught of hell.
How did you rescue your wife?
I broke her out in the middle of the night and we escaped. They didn't chase us far. I guess they were glad to see her go.
You did not fear her, even given the accusations.
She wasn't a witch. She was a mystic. Though we didn't find that out for a time. Not until we started traveling with the Vetchin wagon train. But that's a story for another time.
A week ago, I was deafened by the voices. Council members argued in the corridors outside my chambers. Guards chanted on their patrols and scribes murmured incessantly. Out here, there is only the wind.
Those you've chosen to fight alongside you are an interesting bunch. Children after my own heart, flawed in such interesting ways. Irena is quite vivacious for one with such a burden, don't you think? Cormac certainly does. He'd best keep his vows in mind, or maybe he shouldn't. And you, Lyndon, you can warm my bed any night. You remind me of my second husband. He was quite the devil as well. This Adria, I sense dark things about her. She is not averse to using whatever means necessary to destroy Asmodan and Belial. She will use the Black Soul Stone, no matter what the cost.
We have no alternative.
Some costs may prove too high, even for you. I worry about Leah. How is she?
I don't know. Why?
Oh, no reason. She just needs someone looking out for her. This Zoltan Kuhl sounds like an untrustworthy fellow. You don't have your head separated from your body for no good reason.
Corpses take many forms. We need this one for the Soul Stone.
Well, if you must. But I don't trust any of those ancient sorcerer types. Always up to no good.
Is always wandering.
It is merely the consequence of seeing that which is not readily visible. I have accepted it.
Being unusual has its strengths.
Then you have my thanks. Although, perhaps you are right. I feel as though part of me still sleeps in a faraway realm.
It could be the lingering effect of the spell.
That would be nice, but the feeling I have indicates that it is more unpleasant and complicated than that.
I think I might have met Zoltan Kuhl once. He seemed like a perfectly reasonable sort, for a mage, that is.
What do you have against mages?
Oh, yes. Well, you know how they can be, with the waving hands and the mumbling all the time. They can be a little strange.
The guards were asking you about this Black Soul Stone. I remember reading about it in Uncle's journal, but it didn't seem important.
No, but it is. It is the key to defeating evil forever. It was created by the mage Zoltan Kuhl to trap demonic souls.
Yes! He was a renegade Haradrim, dismembered by his brethren before he could activate the Soul Stone. His head was sealed away in the Dulgar Oasis.
We must retrieve it, because if we're to use the Soul Stone to defeat Belial and Azmodan, Zoltan Kuhl must live again.
I have a new ally. The witch, Adria. She believes that the Black Soul Stone will allow us to defeat the Lords of Hell. But this remains to be seen.
Murderer, torturer, monster. These were the titles bestowed upon Zoltan Kuhl by the Haradrim. Though it cost them dearly, they killed the wizard for his crimes against nature and sealed his broken corpse within a shadow realm. It seems they were afraid he might return.
"300 years ago, I selected Kuhl and 6 others to form the Haradrim. He was a great man who was driven mad by his long quest to hunt evil.
He is not the first. What did he do?
He delved into powers not meant for man, trying to fashion an artifact that could fill his empty heart with the souls of angels and demons. The Haradrim had no choice but to slay him. The Order never recovered.
I don't like dealing with Kuhl any better than you do, but I see no other way. If Adria says we must, then we must. Uncle Deckard trusted her, and so will I.
Zoltan Kuhl, a legend. There is no doubt in my mind he is as powerful as the stories say. But for every bit of his genius, he was surely mad. He was obsessed with immortality and power.
A madman. We would do better to leave him asleep in the desert than to call on him for aid.
You have a better idea.
I do not. It is merely a warning.
After what I've heard of him, I'd prefer not to become involved with this Zoltan Kuhl.
It will be dangerous, but you have faced great peril before. If Belial and Azmodan invade, you will have much more to worry about than a dismembered wizard.